again, over to the west.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about HATI, what HATI is. No one ever knows what HATI stands for. I'm going to tell you about the intake, so where our existing students come from and where they end up going, and then I'm going to give you some information about the programme structure and content. So HATI stands for Humanities, Advanced Technology and Information Institute. Don't worry, I'm not going to test anybody about what that stands for. It's essentially information studies, and the name of our undergraduate degree programme is Digital Media and Information Studies, and we're now listed as Information Studies on the university subject pages, thank goodness, because no one ever could remember HATI. And essentially what we do is we look at archives, records and information management. We look at information sciences, digital curation, digital heritage, technology and phenomenological research, information management preservation. We also teach museum studies at postgraduate level, and our undergraduate degree is digital media and information studies. So our intake, about half of our students come from an undergraduate degree of history, and about a quarter of our students come from an area which is quite closely related, so history of art or archaeology. And the other 25% come from elsewhere, so maths and fine art, design, photography, anywhere and everywhere. And actually I think that we really benefit from having that diversity of students. And about 50% are within a year or two of graduation from that undergraduate degree, but the other 50% can be anything from, I think our oldest student is in her 70s, so it really can be sort of quite a long time since people have studied previously. But what they do have in common is they all have relevant work experience. And we have about 25 to 30 students. That's students who are coming to Glasgow to study, and we're very much, we're not distance learning, I'm afraid. But those 25 to 30, that's made up of full-time and part-time and CPD or day release students. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a moment. And essentially what we teach is we look at record keeping, so the legislative and the legal aspects, operational and administrative, democracy and accountability, look at the historical and research value, and we cover both analogue and digital. So we're looking at records which have been created in the analogue, digitally created records, digitalisation and everything in between. And our students go on to roles as archivist, records manager, digital curator, and legal and compliance managers at organisations like this. So the programme structure, which is probably really what people are interested in. We have core courses, which are the ones that are listed in blue on the left-hand side of the screen. People who are taking the full master's, the full MSc degree, need to take all of those 4 core courses. And then they can choose 2 courses from the orange, sort of in the middle, phenomenology, archives and records theory, document encoding, and 2D digitalisation. And then if they're wanting to do the full masters, then they need to do a dissertation as well. We also offer paleography, but it's as an extra. And the courses on the far right-hand side are courses that are in the process of being developed, which we hope will be online in the next year or 2. So a couple of those will be online for the next academic year, and the rest of them for the academic year following. So law for cultural heritage institutions, records and transitions to the digital, information structures and systems, the technology of the book, and 3D digitalisation too. Those people who've graduated from Glasgow might remember that we had 2 different strands, archives and records management and digital, so people had to choose which way they were going. We've stopped doing that now, and so we offer all of those courses. Students can just mix and match as they want. And the dissertation is very much the student's own work, and a few other people have spoken about the possibility of placements, and we encourage our students to go and find a problem in the workplace which then they can work on, and do that as part of their dissertation. So in previous years we've had students looking at, for example, community archives and archives like Glasgow Women's Library. They've gone into organisations where they currently don't have an archive or records management structure, places like Scottish Opera, and done an evaluation, done a survey about the records that they hold, and then made recommendations for that organisation in the future. So it really is about problem solving and about building that into the structure of the dissertation. And there are various different pathways through the programme. A majority of our students are still full-time, and if they come to take the programme full-time, then it's a full year to be able to complete the Masters. We do have some part-time students too, and that takes 2 years. And we also offer the programme on a CPD or day release basis. So if you were to complete just one of the courses on the previous screen, then we would give you, in similar way to RGU, would give you a letter from the university stating that you'd successfully completed a course. But if you successfully complete 3 courses to make 60 credits, then you also are awarded a postgraduate certificate. And any 6 courses entitles you to a postgraduate diploma, and you need to do the Masters to do the Masters you need to do the dissertation on top of that. So there are various different exit points, but you are also able to just come and do individual courses. Now, if you wanted to get something like postgraduate certificate or the postgraduate diploma, you would need to do the assessment. You couldn't do the course on an audit basis. But what you can do, once you're registered for a course of study, then if you want to take extra courses, you can do that and audit the courses without having to do the assessment. And if you just wanted to come along and do an individual course, then you'd be able to do that without the assessment, and it would be as an audit, but it wouldn't then count towards any degree that you wanted to do. You'd have to do the assessment plan. And the university regulations state that you need to have submitted your dissertation within 5 years of starting to study. So if you are interested in coming on a day release or CPD basis to take the programme, then that's fine, but you have to have completed your dissertation within 5 years. But normally, most students will be able to complete the talk part within 3 years, and then you can take up to an extra 2 years to do your dissertation, should you want to do that. We start in September, and you have to start the programme in September, but if you wanted to do just one individual course that happened in the second semester, so after Christmas, then that would be absolutely fine, fine as well. Okay. So essentially we're looking at theory and practice, and we have placements both for cataloguing, so all the students who take description, cataloguing and navigation on a 2-week work experience placement to catalogue something. So if somebody's working in records management but wanted more archives experience, for example, that might be a good way to get it, and we sort of the places that for them. Also placements for the dissertation, as I mentioned, and also many students work in archives alongside completing the programme, or they volunteer in archives in order to be able to enhance their CV too. And if we look at assessment, I know that people always hate thinking about assessment, but we try to make the assessment as to have as big a variety of different types of assessment as we can. So this includes things like book reviews and discursive essays, writing a preservation strategy, and so on. So the assessment for each individual course is different. So it's not just a case of having to come and write essays. There are things like presentations and peer assessment as well. And the assessment is designed to help the students to link theory with practice. So it should be the sorts of things which people already working in the field are having to do. And so essentially it should be preparation for work and for further study. There's also quite a lot of group work and group presentations and placements. But we try to enable things like group work by teaching each individual course within the programme exclusively on 1 day a week. So Module 1 would always be taught on a Monday, and 2 always on a Tuesday. It's a fairly full day, but this means that people can come and take the course on a day release basis. And the gaps in between and before and after classes mean that students can then work in a group for that class if they've got group work to do for that class. Whether they're full-time or part-time or day release, it shouldn't make any difference, because we're enabling, hopefully we're enabling that group work to happen within the way that we've structured the course. Okay, and if you've got any questions, then my email address is on the delegates handout, and you can find out more about HATI and about our degree by looking at that web address at Information Studies, or just give me a ring if you have Okay, thank you.